Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Queens, Season 1, Episode 8, entitled God's Plan. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. The ambulance rushes to get Eric and Bree to the hospital as the rest of the women rush to meet them there. Jill prays, and Lauren can't understand who would do such a thing. The media has already received news of the unfortunate event, while fans begin to place vigil items near the hospital entry. The ladies reflect on how everything happened so fast. Did Bree say anything? Could she even talk? Eric looked okay, but Bree looked really bad. Back to 1993, a young Naomi works on her rhymes, but is interrupted by Brianna, present to help her with her Shakespeare. Naomi thinks that Shakespeare is pointless, but Bree impresses Naomi by translating Shakespeare passages to rap. Naomi is impressed and learns that Bree is into rap as well. Tribe, KRS-One, Jungle Brothers, Salt and Pepper, only to name a few. Naomi wants to create a group and invites Bree to be a member. Detective Wilson from LAPD informs they're all witnesses to an attempted homicide. They have no suspects currently, but he wants to talk with everyone, individually, alone. Do you have any enemies? Is anyone around you that you think could cause harm? One by one, each person recalls. Naomi is so fixated on Bree and Eric's health that she doesn't want to answer any questions. Jill admits that her bad behavior has just been happening all this time, and she keeps hurting people around her. Her ex actually threatened her. Valeria predicts that it could be her con mom, her fake mom. This could all be retaliation for speaking to the cops. Lauren shares the news that the other ladies don't know about. She's not certain, but Eric needed money. He owes Jadakiss money, and he showed up at Eric's house with a weapon. Eric showed up at the billboard all beat up, and the last thing that he said was, "I'll get you the money." Everyone wants an update, but no one can get information if they're not family. Naomi says that the only family connection is Eric. He's the father to her daughter. That connection allows the notification that Eric is in stable condition. But they can't get any information concerning Bree. Mentioning her name again snaps Valeria's memory. Oh no. Oh my God. Brianna's kids. The media storms Val and the kids as they enter the hospital, demanding answers. Naomi tells Eric while he's unconscious to never reach out and try to stop a gunman ever again. That was just stupid. They're family now, and he can't leave them. Eric shouts out of his consciousness, saying that "I'll get you your money." Naomi comforts him as he wants to know how Bree is doing, but no one knows for now. The good news is that his bullet fragments were removed in surgery and no arteries were harmed. Naomi warns that a detective is present in the hospital, asking questions, and "What did you mean by 'I'll get you your money'?" Eric says that it was just business and paranoia. It's nothing to be concerned about. Bree brings Naomi over to study, but Bree's mom isn't too happy. She's not appreciative of what Naomi is wearing and that she doesn't go to a private school. Instead, her mom has arranged a play date with someone from her school, Jill. Val is honest with the kids that she's not sure of Bree's status because the hospital won't give her any information. She's not family. The hospital can only release that to family members specifically. The kids are happy to see their grandma is present. She assures that she will handle everything and their mom will be okay. She grills the kids about science and gripes about how their mom didn't teach them anything. Jill informs Val discreetly that unfortunately no one in the group has had a good relationship with Bree's mom. Bree's mom can't stand them. They're to blame, supposedly, for Bree becoming a rapper instead of going to Harvard. Brianna is out of surgery. She's alive, unconscious, and on life support. The doctor should arrive soon with more details, and the grandmother can take the children to see their mom. Bree's mom says that the kids don't need to see their mom with tubes all down her throat, and she'll be okay. No one wants to see her sleep. Would you want anyone to watch you sleep? The ladies plead that the children just lost their father, and the children may want to see their mom. There's no guarantee she'll be fine. One of Bree's children also mentioned that they want to see their mom. What if something happens? Maybe Auntie Val can take us in. Bree's mom doesn't want that image in her head, but she allows Val to take the kids to see Bree. Bree and Naomi can't wait to form a group and do a show in the Bronx. They work on lyrics, and surprisingly, Jill has some bars of her own. It's difficult for the kids to see their mom in such a sad condition, but Val tells them that their mommy loves them very much. She's not sure of everything. Will be okay, but no matter what, a mom's love is a mom's love. She doesn't know if her own mother is dead or alive, but she feels her mother's love. The detective arrives and informs everyone of possible suspects, including Jadakiss. Lauren told him she suspects he may have reason to harm Eric. Eric doesn't want to give any information to the detective, but the detective tells him he should be concerned with the killer still out on the loose who may return to finish the job. He should think about anything he knows before leaving the room. There's more details from the doctor. Brianna was shot in the chest, causing injury to her spleen, liver, and spine. They were able to stop the bleeding, but the bullet fragments remain in the spinal canal. The damage done to the spinal cord was extensive. Currently, she doesn't have function below the neck. With permission, the doctors want to do another surgery to remove the fragments and hopefully restore as much movement as possible. If they leave Brianna as is, lifelong paralysis is the outcome. A successful surgery will restore this function. There are risks with the possibility of death. The doctor says if it was her family or her daughter, she would have the surgery done. But this decision is up to Brianna's family. The ladies agree it makes sense to have the surgery performed. Bree needs a chance to hold her children again, but Bree's mother says don't touch her. She feels as long as Bree is alive, that's the best choice, not surgery. The ladies can't believe Bree's mom is the only one that can make such critical decisions. If it were Jill, she reflects that, wow, it would be my dad, but he hasn't even talked to me in 6 months. The detective arrives and reports that it's not Tina. She was on a flight to Montana. The person who claimed to be Val's mom was caught on a security camera getting food at the same time as the shooting. She has a bench warrant in Wisconsin. They're holding her until she can be transferred the next morning. He'll keep them informed if new information is discovered. Lauren discreetly wants to know, what's the status about Jadakiss? Any new info on that? Speaking of Jadakiss, he's their prime suspect. Bree and Jill are late meeting up with Naomi, but they had to wait until Bree's mom fell into a deep sleep. They have enough time to catch a train and sign up for the talent night. They don't have a name yet, but if they think of anything when they arrive, then they'll just roll with that. Lauren brings Eric a get well gift, but Eric wants to know why she told the detective about Jadakiss. Lauren says that the no snitches era is old. He and Bree could have died. This is real life. Bree could die or be paralyzed. Naomi arrives and wants to talk, and Lauren leaves them alone to speak. Naomi is sad that Bree's mom is the decision maker and doesn't want surgery. On top of that, what if JoJo got hurt and she wasn't there and there were decisions to be made? They should make things official. His name should be on JoJo's birth certificate retroactively. They should have it documented somewhere to show that they're family. Eric is ready to sign and is all for trying to make things right and rekindled between the two of them. Val wants the truth from her con mom. Did she tell the truth about her real mom's name? She confesses her real mom is the one with the rap sheet. She was her friend and found it easy to do this whole con thing since she knew so much. She did care about Val and it was proud of her. But unfortunately, she's dead. She could give her more details, but only if Val can get her a good lawyer. Val can't stand the possibility of more lies and more conning from her, and she just leaves with no response. They arrive at the venue, and it's a packed house. They came all the way from Brooklyn and paid double to get in. They want to perform. Before they know the answer about their performance, Bree's mom arrives. They got to perform now, and they're not going to take no for an answer. Naomi and Jill reminisce about their first performance as the Nasty Bees. Had it not been for Bree's persuasion, they never would have gotten that opportunity. A nurse is surprised at all of the famous presence of the queens and is more shocked that they're really friends in real life. She sees a lot of famous people, but none of them seem to be this close. The ladies speak with Miss Robinson. They can't accept the decision of no surgery. The mom isn't having their cries and blames the group for stopping Bree's brilliant academic mind. She insults the ladies and tells them that they took Bree away from her family. The ladies beg to differ. Bree loved performing, being creative, and gaining a new phase of her life, which is sense of self. She lost her husband, and she deserves a chance not to be stuck in a chair. They're not blood, but they are family. This surgery is what Bree would want, and you know it. The medical staff takes away Bree for surgery, and prayers fill the air. The Nasty Bees are announced on stage, and the audience is shocked not only at the name, but their age. But they eventually hear the music and cheer them on. Their performance is amazing. Bree's mom isn't anything short of happy watching them. After the performance, a young Eric tells them that he's a developing manager and wants to work with them. They have an it factor. Jadakiss pays Eric a visit. He's upset that he's a murder suspect and it wasn't him. He wouldn't risk hurting Professor Sex just to get to him. He had nothing to do with it, and Eric better hope that the real shooter gets him before he does. They have unfinished business. Prays alone in the hospital chapel, asking God to please see Bree through. Lauren sees Jadakiss come out of Eric's room and finally tells Naomi and Val that Eric is in trouble. He borrowed $750K from Jadakiss and couldn't pay it back, and he's got to be the shooter. The detective arrives and he's looking for Jill. Has anybody seen her? But the ladies have no idea where she went. They have the gun person removing their mask, and a clear viewing of their face is on camera. As Jill prays, a person prays with her. It's her ex-husband. It was always God's plan, he says, for them to get married, have a baby, and those plans required faith and devotion. It's his plan for them to be together, and it's the only reason why that bullet didn't hit her. Cops storm the building to find Jill. Time is critical, and Bree's surgery begins. Flatlines ring out. Darren strangles Jill, enraged, but she can't move until there's a split second of time to grab a candle holder. Jill strikes him, and the cops and detectives arrive. Darren is alive. He just got knocked out. He's unconscious. The detective calls for medical attention, and Jill is in shock, saying, "It's all my fault. He shot everyone because of me." Bree continues to flatline, even with several shocks to the heart. No response. No heart rhythm. The flatline continues as more and more fans populate the vigil outside of the hospital. Flatlines continue. The scene fades to darkness, and then a faint heartbeat. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Now, the next episode is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, you guys, until episode 9 airs January 4th. So keep that in mind, okay? Enjoy your holidays, enjoy the break, and make sure to come back to this channel to watch the recap and review of episode 9. Only 2 more episodes to go. When you watched this episode, were your guesses of who the suspect would be correct? Were you shocked at the final reveal, or were you disappointed? If you follow my recaps and reviews, we discussed how Jill's ex-husband was a suspect. With the writing, they wanted to give us multiple people to suspect, but give us this shock value when the shooter was revealed. We were talking about how Jill's husband was a suspect, people who Eric owed money to. We talked about Jill's ex-girlfriend. We talked about the possible manager, right? Remember the first manager of Lauren, who didn't like that Lauren mentioned the nasty bees and how without them it would be no her. We talked about all of these people who could be suspects. So when it was revealed, it was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, we were right in making those guesses. It's obvious what's next when it comes to what is the crescendo of the end of the season going into season 2. And that will be JoJo's real dad. Who is the real dad? Now that we have this foreshadowing of this rekindled love between Eric and Naomi, right? It's this big foreshadowing of the disappointment of the possibility in him learning that Cam is a possible father as well, which will cause a lot of static, of course, not only between Eric and Naomi, but additional static between JoJo and Naomi and her mom, right? They're just now building this trust back, and now you've told me that he's my dad. Now it's a possibility that he's not. So they're not going to be too confident in anything that Naomi says. So I think that's going to be one of the main crescendos left for the season. And they'll add an additional storyline from one of the characters for season 2. We're talking about information when it comes to Val's mom, this so-called fake mom. That will also be the crescendo as well. Will she finally get some conscious, listen to her conscience and say, I've conned this woman enough. Do I want to give her the real information about her mom since she says that she knows her? It's obvious that there's some truth in that because there was so much information that she knew about Valeria, how she grew up, all this stuff, right? So there's got to be some truth in that. So I'm thinking those last 2 episodes will get a smidget of that information to leave us on a cliffhanger and pull us in back to season 2. The goal of any show, especially when it's new, is to keep things going and to keep the audience interested. With the writing and direction, it was good to let us know now of who the shooter was, and instead of keeping us all the way literally to the last episode of season 1, because I have mentioned that if you do that, you will exhaust your audience. For those of you who are new to my channel, I explained that exhausting the audience will cause the audience not to care anymore, and they're not going to watch. For example, if they had kept the identity of the shooter till the final episode, people would have really been frustrated and angry that they had to wait that long, and it was just that person, and I really don't know if I want to watch for season 2. But what they did was they gave us this now, and they're going to give us more storylines and crescendos with the last 2 episodes. Now, a lot of people question, why would they even write that for such a critical character? Well, we do have reality, and real life. For those of you who are unaware, haven't heard by now, the rapper Eve is pregnant with her first child between her and her husband. And you do want to think about giving the actor time to rest, to be with family, in order to keep the individual safe. You don't want that person to have such a rigorous schedule to where you're causing strain and harm on the possible delivery of their child and their health. You don't want them to have any complications. So it's really important that you look at the safety of your actors. So I don't think that they would quote unquote kill this character off. I think either this character is going to be in a coma, or they're going to be in such critical condition or a sensitive condition enough to where they would need a long time to rest. So they're going to allow that character to rest. We have enough storylines that if Bree is taken out of the equation physically, there's still a lot of things that can be settled. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the recaps and the reviews so far. Stay tuned. Make sure to come back January 4th when we have episode 9 so we can get more information and more details to help us figure out the rest of these mysteries that are happening in the series and to get additional scoops for season 2 because we only have a few episodes left. Make sure to check out that pinned comment and watch other shows that I recommend you watch and that I think that you will enjoy. There is also so much more to watch in the playlist. There's Ready to Love, a reality dating show. We do have more shows coming and on the way. Make sure that you also check out the final episodes of Insecure, the last season. If you are behind, you've never heard the show, make sure that you go on those playlists and binge watch so you can know what's going on. Happy holidays. Enjoy your time with family and friends or solitude, whatever your choice is. In the meantime, in between time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.